Hi students! Today we're going to talk about some resources to help us when reading nonfiction information. One of my favorite reading resources is called UNRAAVEL. It's an acronym, which means that each letter stands for a certain reading strategy. The first slide that we're going to look over today is the introduction to UNRAAVEL. It's a reading technique to make you more aware of the text that you are reading. The second slide is the steps of UNRAAVEL. It seems a little overwhelming at first, but I promise as we go through it, you'll find it easier and easier. The first step, the U, stands for underlining the title. That's a pretty simple step. The second step, N, stands for now you need to go through and predict the passage. We'll talk about what predicting means in a little bit. R stands for running through and numbering the paragraphs. A, the first A, are you reading the questions? The second A in UNRAAVEL are the important words circled. We'll talk about what these are in a little bit as well. The V stands for venture through the passage. We'll definitely be going into this one a little more detail. E, eliminate incorrect answers. And L, finally the last step is let the questions be answered. Now let's break down each step of UNRAAVEL. The U, underline the title. Why in the world do I need to underline a title? Well, most readers tend to skip over titles, and when this happens, you aren't prepared with what you're about to read, and you don't know what the story might be about. You can start making connections. The N. Now, you want to predict the passage. Why do we want to predict? Well, predicting helps you make connections with what you think the passage might be about. You can look at pictures if they're available. The title is definitely helpful for predicting, and any other bolded words and things like that could help you predict. In predicting, don't forget, is making an educated guess. The R, that's just running through and numbering the paragraphs. Remember, the way we know a new paragraph has begun is through an indentation. So basically, you're putting a small number in order from 1 and according to how many paragraphs there are beside each paragraph. This is an easy way to mark the paragraphs so that if you have to go back to a certain section, you're not trying to just go to a random paragraph. There's numbers there for you to locate the answers to the questions quickly. The first A, are you reading the questions? This is so crucial that you read questions because they help you be able to know what you're looking for when you're reading the information. It makes you sure that you are reading the correct information, looking for the right resources, and you're saving so much time because you're not hunting for answers. That's another reason why we number those paragraphs, so when you go back for your answers, they're numbered and you don't have to dig around for your answer. The second A are the important words circled. Sometimes students struggle with knowing what important words are. Important words are definitely anything that's bolded or in italics. Also, important words could be something that's an unknown word to you that you see when you read the question and you find it in the story. You go back and circle so you can make the relationship between the unknown vocabulary word in the question versus the unknown word in the passage. Also, it helps you locate that information more quickly. The V. Finally, you get to venture through the passage. All venture means is like traveling. You get to read through the passage. This is most everybody's favorite part. The E, eliminating incorrect answers. You always have a better chance of succeeding in successfully answering the question if you eliminate those silly answers. Most of the time, test makers will put some kind of silly or crazy answer in there that you don't need. So it's better if you narrow it down to 2 options. The L, let the questions be answered. At this time, you're just basically deciding what the final answer should be. You're circling the question. Always double check that you've answered each question and make sure that the question makes sense to the answer. The answer makes sense to the question. Guys, I know this seems like a really long process, but I promise if you will take the time to learn this, it'll get quicker and quicker as the year goes by, and before you know it, you'll be doing it second nature.